Caesars Sportsbook bringing us this football happy hour here as we pick every game against the spread this week, week 17. We looked at the early games on CBS this Sunday. Now the rest of the early slate, and Raiders-Colts, big game in the playoff race there. Bills trying to stay on top of the AFC East. They have the tiebreaker right now against the Patriots after the win last week. Eagles getting closer to a playoff berth, and a huge game for the Ravens. They probably need to win that to stay in the playoff race in the AFC. Let's start with that one. Rams and Ravens in Baltimore. 1 o'clock Eastern time this Sunday. Pete Prisco and Brady Quinn with us. Lamar Jackson back at practice. Might not be 100% for this game. Hopefully he is able to play.
You know what the Rams are doing? They're playing back-to-back road games.
Oh.
And they were not very good last week. Matt Stafford had a rough go of it, Chris. He really struggled. And when I look at the Rams going back out on the road, playing a team that's desperate. And desperation in terms of getting in is a lot more than desperation in terms of winning a division and seeding. So I'm going to go with the prideful Baltimore Ravens here. I think Lamar Jackson will be back playing, like you said. He hadn't been playing well up until the injury anyways, but I think he'll play well here. And I just think the Ravens, even with all the COVID issues and the injuries and the decimated secondary, I think they're going to find a way to not only cover this number, I think they're going to win the game outright. So I'm going to take the Ravens to stay alive in the playoff chase.
You know, Pete, this game does kind of worry me because I'm on the other side of this one, but it's really because of the mismatch when you look at the way that Ravens secondary played versus Cincinnati, but just how they've continually been in decline in the second half of the season. And obviously we know what the prerogative is of the LA Rams. They want to throw the football with Matt Stafford, air that thing around, opposite of Cooper Kupp, but get everyone else involved. Last week it was a little bit more of the running game with Sony Michel that got going. And as much as you want to say about their poor performance, look, they won. At the end of the day, they were still able to get a win versus the Minnesota Vikings. So I'm going to look at this game and say at some point, I got to start differing with you. You are 2 games ahead. This is one where I'll lay the 3.5 points. I do think there'll be a fair amount of scoring in this one. So I also think the over is a good play here, but I just think it's a bad matchup for the way that secondary in Baltimore is played. And go ahead, try to pressure Matt Stafford. You know that's what Wink wants to do there in Baltimore. Didn't work versus Joe Burrow. I don't think they'll have much success versus Matt Stafford either. And without 100% Lamar Jackson, I think they could see some issues too with that offense getting going there in Baltimore.
And why do you think that defense is going to be okay after what we saw Joe Burrow do to that secondary? You've seen the numbers. They've given up, I think it was 13 touchdowns of 30-plus yards or more than
It's not like Stafford lit it up last week either, did he?
No, but when he's got it going.
Well, I'm not sure he's going to have it going. I think this is a tough matchup for the Rams. I know the secondary's been really decimated, but this is a prideful group, and they're well coached. They'll figure out a way. They're going to play better.
Probably need to, because they probably need to win their last 2. Brady?
Don't forget that. They're prideful. They're the only one that Pete's mentioned is prideful in the NFL. So just keep that in mind this entire season.
I know it matters to you because you're big on pride. I know that. I mean, Notre Dame pride. I get it. I understand it.
Pride of the Irish.
Arizona State has no pride. We have no pride.
That's true. You have no shame either.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.